Yo, yo, yo. It's Thursday. We're back again. I'm your boy, Hi-Fi Vega. Dean is the man who never sleeps, the guy who can't stay home longer than 2 weeks at a time, the man who's like a traveling car audio evangelist. His name's Dean Bayette, and he has a YouTube channel called 5 Star Car Stereo.
I should have named it Dean Bayette.
You should have, yeah.
Would have been way freaking easier. Oh my god, dude, it would have been way easier. 100%.
It's the curse, man.
You know, could have been living with Dean.
Oh, there you go.
Living loud with Dean.
There you go, just like Andy.
Yeah, no, well, see, but there again, he would have had to come up with a different name because you know, it was years ago.
Right.
You know, he was 12, and I don't know how old he is. I'm joking.
Probably not.
He might have been though. I don't know.
He's still young. He's still a young man.
He's in his 20s, and he was 12.
I've got a very important story to tell.
Please tell.
So, we all seen that you let the smoke out of a Focal Auditor's subwoofer. We'll get to that in a minute. I let the smoke out of my garbage disposal yesterday.
Way more exciting.
So, Cassie told me the day before that the garbage disposal wasn't working. I said, I'll look at it. Of course, being me, I forgot. She reminded me after work. All right, we'll go look at it. So, I plug it into the other plug. No bueno, no nothing. It's not even draining right.
And that's about the extent of my home repair capabilities.
Hey, oh no, I grabbed it. I cleaned the pipe out. Everything's looking good.
Just take the Allen key and twist the bottom?
Yes.
Okay.
And yep, we had the Allen key. Like everything's rolling. Got extension cord. I said, you know what? We're just gonna plug it in. Here's the other end of the extension cord.
So
plug it in.
Can I just ask one question? At any point during this, did you think I'm gonna go grab my digital multimeter, put it to AC, and stick it in the outlet?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Because there's the reason I didn't do that is because the dishwasher is working, and it's in the same outlet. So I'd already checked the breakers and all that.
Okay, I'm just saying because you went
Yeah, and it didn't work.
No?
Yeah. Yeah. If we didn't have another one plugged in there, that would have been the situation.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
So I have her plug it in.
Oh, hold on, just to fill you in the lake, guys. His garbage disposal broke. We're hearing the story of his home repair techniques.
Yes,
go ahead.
And we let out the magic smoke. Both of us let out the magic smoke this.
How did you let the magic smoke out of it though?
So she plugged in the garbage disposal.
Yep.
I hear it start to fire up, and it wasn't doing nothing before. And all of a sudden, I see smoke. I was like, "Stop! So pull out the plug." I didn't even hit the switch. Pull out the plug. Like, we'll talk about it later. Just pull out the plug. And man, dude, it's like a dude in a little mini Subaru spun around in there, and vape was just rolling out of it.
No, I want to back this up a little bit. We'll get to the vape guy in a minute. That was good too, but the fact that you said just pull the plug out, we'll talk about it later, is a married testimonial right there. As a husband, pull the fucking plug out of the wall. God damn it! What the fuck is wrong with you? Pull the fucking. Oh my! And then you walk back to what? And you pull the fucking plug out.
Yeah.
She's staring at a fucking dot on the wall.
Listen, here's what she was hung up on. That's why the one underneath the sink is wired to a switch, right?
Yeah.
So in her mind, you still have to hit that switch to make it work. And then after this whole ordeal, like the stuff's unplugged, and I like explained for 3 minutes that no, we plugged it into an outlet that always goes. So as soon as you plug it in, it's going.
See, it was your fault. That was 100% because you didn't fill her in. I just want you guys all to know that I've met his wife, and she's a sweetheart of a woman, and this is all a lie.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. Okay.
She's great.
Going back to the other comment.
Right, exactly.
Subaru don't.
Yes. Dude, it was, there might be more smoke than you let out of that auditor in there, because that dude, once it went, and it was just going. I was like, you know what? We're done here. This thing, I said, surely these don't cost that much. So this is gonna be like $100. We'll fix it and it'll be no problem.
So did you put the new one in yet?
No, because it was yesterday and I didn't have time. But I'm gonna do it this weekend. It's on the list.
The vape joke is strikingly funny because I was sitting in a guy's car one day and we were doing the demo and we were facing the plaza and there's these columns. And I don't know what, dude, this cloud of smoke from the Choo Choo Vape Master 5000. It was like when you watch those World War I movies where they throw a smoke grenade so that they can be shrouded in smoke.
That smelled like root beer or something.
I
Strawberries.
have no idea. We were just both like this. As this giant cloud of smoke came by, and it was because we were both like, "What the fuck?" And then this guy just appears through the mist, and I was like, and he's like, with this just big,
got the modded headway sails, 4 headway sails hooked up to it.
Sure, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is crazy." Yeah, but anyways, my home improvements, as if my Sunday wasn't hard enough. It's always the husband's fault. The sooner you realize that, oh yeah, dude, I've been married 33 years this year, so I got this covered. I don't even have to be home, and it's still my fault.
Like, yeah, sure, it's my fault.
Yeah, I don't care. You know how it's my fault? Every time my wallet gets lighter, I know it was my fault.
Exactly.
So Sunday. So my Sunday, I had a bunch of stuff I needed to do. The girls were out of town, and I was like, they left Thursday, so I'd like Thursday, Friday. We had to film a bunch of shit. We were busy as shit, naturally, right? And so Sunday, I was like, I'm gonna get caught up on everything. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of videos made because like we were gonna be gone all week, or we were gonna be gone for 24 hours. That was gonna just totally hose my week. And so I get up. I'm like, I gotta go running because my count was down, and because Friday I don't go running, and the girls weren't here, and I was so tired because I was up till 4 a.m. the night before, trying to get everything done, and I was like, there's a funny story behind that, but we won't get into it because it's only an hour show. Anyways, long story long, I come home after usually I go running and and then I come home and I gotta take a shit.
Yeah,
running problems. And I go out to go run. Well, I come in and I'm like, it smells like water. I don't know why I can smell water. And I walk back into my bathroom and I look at the floor and the floor is wet. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. So my toilet was leaking out of the base.
The wax seal.
So here's the funny part. So when we bought the house many years ago, the last thing to get done is my bathroom. So my bathroom is like half done. We redid the whole shower, but we haven't done the floor and the cabinets and all that crap yet because it's like I don't care. No one uses it but me,
right?
And it hasn't bugged Sue enough to redo it. Because I just look at it and go, I don't want to spend the money on that.
I just poop in there. I
got like a laser or a CNC or something I need to buy more than I need a bathroom. Because it's so. Anyways, I've always looked at my toilet and gone, like when you look at it, like when you buy it, like you bought your house new, right?
Yeah.
So you knew every hole, every dent, everything. So there's always like when you buy a used house, you always kind of look at it and go, wonder why that's like that. And at some point you might get curious and like rip out the drywall and find a dead body. Well, my toilet has always it's weird the way they did it. And it's really high off the ground. And I've always just kind of looked at it and go, I wonder why they did that. But not curious enough to like.
Do your feet dangle like swing?
No. But it's just But normally it sits on the tile floor and you put a bead of caulk on. This didn't have that. It was just weird. And I've always looked at it and it had like they built like a grout base for it. And I've always just kind of looked at it and I was like, I wonder why they did that. And then I leave and I don't think about it anymore. No. So, anyways, cleaned up the floor, went running, finished my run because it was like, no, I gotta run. So now I gotta come back and I gotta deal with this toilet thing. And I kicked myself because I didn't take a picture of it. As soon as I pulled my toilet off the floor, and there's like an inch thing of caulk around part of it. And then they took paint stirring sticks, and they used it as shims.
They shimmed it.
They shimmed the toilet with paint stirring sticks. And dude, it was literally like beavers built put this toilet in because they just jammed.
It's lasted how long?
Like 13, 14 years.
Not bad.
No, I mean, hey, it worked.
Yeah.
So I destroyed one of my chisels because I had to like break mortar off of what I don't know what it was. Yeah. So anyways, I get it all cleaned up, and I'm looking at the base that it sits on. I'm like, man, that looks like it needs to be replaced. And I pull up on it. I'm like, yeah, it looks like it doesn't need to be replaced. Because I'll have to probably call a plumber and they'll have to jackhammer the floor and all this. Thanks, Dave. You're the best. Good evening, everyone. Hit that like button.
I appreciate it, bro.
So clean it all up. And then, of course, you know, the nozzle doesn't want to shut the water off, so I got to shut the water off outside. So I go to Lowe's, I buy a new nozzle so I can turn the water back on, and then I'm looking at it, and I cleaned off everything cleaned up. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try setting the toilet on, because at the time I was like, I'm screwed. I'm just gonna have to call a plumber, and we're gonna have to remodel my bathroom now. Fuck.
Right.
And I set on, it sits right on, and it sits right on the floor, and it doesn't rock. It's perfectly level, and I'm like, well, what the hell is all that shit for? So then I got to go back, buy a wax ring, and we all know how much fun Lowe's is on a Sunday.
Yeah, nightmare.
Right? Can we all get it like
nightmare fuel?
Yeah. So needless to say, my toilet, I was able to let the smoke out 2 hours later.
Now we can tune in to our car audio segment where you tried to destroy a subwoofer that the nice people from Focal gave you to put in Haley's car. Explain yourself.
So Fernando goes, all right, so when we're shooting the video, obviously Fernando goes, hey man, we need to get a flex video. And I go,
yeah,
it's an entry-level 10-inch driver. How much flex video do you want? He goes, no, I want to get some flex video. Okay.
Hey, listen, man, I'm Team Nando on it.
I put in the Cy Morris and turned the bitch up. And power rating on that was only like 350 watts, and we were running Kicker Key 501 full tilt boogie on that one. And but let me tell you what, the Kicker Key 501 has some sack.
Yeah,
it is not an amp to be played with. It's all of 500 watts and probably a little bit more. I mean, who cares what the dyno says? I don't know. I've never dynoed one, but I can tell you right now that amp's a monster. And
even the 204 seems pretty strong for 50 watts by 4. Yeah.
70. Isn't it 70? I thought it was 70.
I think it's 50. Yeah.
All I know is I took out an amp this big and had to put in an amp this big. And I'm going, yeah. This is dumb. But we're getting paid. Let's do it. 5-star poles are not for sale. I know. Sorry.
Gotta get them up.
Whatever. I'll send you the logo. You can have one made. That's what I did. There's dude, poles are expensive. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we're playing Cy Morris and it's bumping, and he's doing the filming, and I'm looking at it, and I see a little wisp, a little of like, and I go, is that smoke? And then someone told me, go hit pause. So as I'm, it's just as I go to turn, I see more smoke come out. I run up and I hit pause just in time. So we didn't kill the woofer. The woofer was fine.
Right.
I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. And I come back and it's just vaping like a mother. I mean, it's literally, it was a Subaru. It was like a guy at the end of the plaza at the vape shop. Just go, you want to get high?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
like high on life, bro. That's a real story too, by the way. I mean, like high on life. No, we know what you meant.
Are you a cop?
Yeah. Dude, he literally said, I need to see that. It's at the end of the Focal video.
You gotta watch the whole thing.
It's just there smoking. What you didn't catch was me going. Haley's gonna be pissed. We smoked up her car.
Dude,
bro, man,
that glue smells so bad. That thing smells so bad, that glue.
Oh, it was the worst. It's luckily they weren't home, so I parked it in the garage. She's got a sunroof, so I left all the windows down and I drove it to work the next day and aired it out. But we ended up taking that out of there. Not for any reason. I mean, it played fine. Yeah. It was a ton of bass. But we're trying to clean up some of the shit that's been accumulating during this COVID crap, and like we just find random boxes of shit, and we're just like, why do we have this? Then we're like, all right, well, we'll save it for December, and something that like we've reviewed and we didn't know we had it because we reviewed it like last year sometime, and we're like, I thought we sent that back, and we're like, oh, we still got it. Do you guys need this? What? Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
we'll give that away. And so we found Kenwood had sent us the dual 12 Exelon subwoofer enclosure.
Nice.
And I was like, I knew it was there. I just didn't know where it was. It's a big box.
Right.
I didn't know where we put it. So Fernando found it, and I was like, dude, we're putting that in Haley's car right now because for one, I needed the box that we were using was Paul's. We borrowed it. I didn't have a 110 ported box, so I went next door, grabbed an empty one, threw our woofer in it. So he wanted his box back because I really didn't want to pay the money for a 110 box I was never going to use. So that was that. So we grabbed that. So I think on Instagram, like Saturday or I don't remember what day. I think it was Saturday. Dad, why does my car smell like that? Exactly. So I put the 212 Kenwood box in there, poured it, and let that bitch play with the windows down. Yeah, we aired that thing out real quick.
I totally
monster.
I read this in Haley voice. Like in my head, it was Haley voice. I could just imagine how it would come out.
No, you want to know what she said? And she goes, Dad, why's my car a mess? And I go, wait, what? She goes, my car's a mess now. And I go, here's what we did. We took all your crap, consolidated it into one spot. Okay. So all this shit was in your car. I mean, it wasn't a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like throwing her to the bus like bad customer. No, it was like, there's like a pair of shoes that, and then like a lot of soccer towels and.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I know, like Bailey's thing, same thing. Like, why is there 2 volleyballs in here? Like,
yeah.
You just playing a pickup game of volleyball, or
Well, she does still play soccer, so I mean, it's like, but I was driving down, and
it's like basketball. You just sit and like, oh
yeah, give me a playing. I went home, grabbed my ball. Okay. He uses an external Canon, but that's a whole other thing. So anyways, so we smoked it. And then of course I was worried because I was on the fence about putting that on there, and I was like, you know what, if people are gonna bother to watch the whole video and they make it to the end, then this is their reward. The reward is the smoke coming out of the woofer.
So did you have the moment where you thought about yelling at Fernando, like, pull the plug?
No, I was already because it would have been like your wife. What?
Yeah.
He would just look at me like, what? And I've been, it's Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's loud, huh? It's
exactly. 100%. He's done that to me a bunch. Dude. No, turn it down. Yeah, up.
Yeah,
up.
I like it.
No. Sore throat? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we've blown. I will blow a woofer. There's no question about it. I mean, when you're asking me to test something, I'm going to test it because I know that the guy that's going to buy it is going to test it. So
right.
And that's I think in the video I flat out say don't put more than 300 watts to this woofer. It doesn't need a dime more.
You did.
I did, but you don't need to. Small 300 watt amp, plenty for that thing. Now, if you have 2 of them, which I assume a lot of people would, you get 2 10s, then I mean they're super efficient. They, 2 of those 10s in the car would be nice, but they only sent me 1. So
well, like if there's a sub in Cassie's car, I have to put a limiter on it because she's like, she don't care about stereos, but then instantly when she gets stereos, Basshead, full Basshead,
all of
boom.
them, they all are.
Yeah.
No, it was the new Focal Auditor line. So we have the new Focal Auditor line, which was pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, for as cheap as that stuff is, if you're a Focal fan, and you like that, dude, that was great. Dean's going to have 68 days of Christmas this year. No. Right now we have 2 days lined up, so we're good there.
There you go.
Nah, we're gonna. Customers are exceptionally skilled at managing to break stuff. Yes, they are.
Okay.
So if I can break it, then. Plus, the other thing too is when it's on their dime and not mine, meaning not the customer but the manufacturer, then it gives me the ability to figure out like, oh yeah, don't do that.
Right.
So we, and hey man, it's we don't know this stuff. We don't really use that particular product, so we want to find out where the weak points are.
What they need to make is an amp that has self-healing materials so that you have access to the gain, and then when you're done, you push a button and there's no more gain.
Yeah. I mean,
and then give them the bass knob like you got this.
Or better, it's just easier than that, like something they could actually do. was if the gain structure on the amplifier was just Bluetooth, and you had to have the password to get to it.
There
So
you go.
you know it's an installer mode. You gotta
Yeah.
type in your password. You get into it, you set the gains, and you rock out. But see, all they're gonna do is they're just gonna go to their head unit and turn basement and treble all the way up.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it
That's
sounds
true.
better like this. No, it doesn't. No, it does really. No, it doesn't. Why are you yelling? Oh, cause I can't hear anything.
Yeah. We went too
I'm
loud.
probably about to smoke my whole.
Did you ever mess with those virtual technologies? It was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Dude, man, I'm sorry. I'm a brand guy.
Yeah.
I'm not like the esoteric oddball brands out of like.
Yeah. There was literally a brand called Esoteric.
Oh, I know.
Which is
And
what,
that's and
right.
they weren't esoteric at all. That's the best part.
Yeah,
They were mainstream as could get out. Oh, we're esoteric. No, you're not.
Right.
You're in every goddamn back of every magazine there is.
Did I ever tell you my esoteric story?
I'll have it in 5 minutes.
Okay, listen. I had a good friend. The friend that got me into car audio.
Yep.
He's like, dude, we've got this new brand. You got to check out. Super high end stuff. And he said, really cool, man. He's like, it's called Esoteric Audio.
Esoteric?
Esoteric Audio. And I said, that's a unique name. And then I see the photo and I see the amp, and I was like, you sure that's not esoteric? He's like, no, it's Esoteric, man. Like exotic, but exotic. And I was like,
you got some good friends that cannot pronounce shit.
I was like, okay. So I call it Esoteric Audio for years. And then the internet pops up and I start seeing people talk about it. Esoteric. Played myself. Should have never listened to him.
No. I mean, come on. If you was friends of yours, you knew. You knew what an idiot he was.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Are you playing with a matchbox? Yeah, I know. All I can hear is you squishing that thing.
Yeah.
Put it down. put it down. Leave it alone.
That's my fidget spinner.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get a quieter fidget spinner. God damn it. I'm like, it sounds like you keep like popping on matchbox wheels on the counter.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was fun. No, I don't know. I was never any good at those weird brands. Guys would come in with that stuff, and I just look at it and go. I will say this. Yeah, go ahead.
They got famous for their enclosures more. I think that was the first slot-loaded enclosure that I ever seen around this area. No. Virtual Technologies.
That brand? Virtual Technologies.
Yeah, Esoteric. They had the cable. I knew them mostly because the wiring and stuff that come out with.
Yeah,
so,
they had wire and RCAs and distribution blocks. I mean, they were the typical '90s company. Everything was gold and pretty colors. Woo.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, we've always sold Stinger. So, because it was convenient. I mean, they were right down the street.
Right. So you guys done? What did you do? Phoenix Gold. Phoenix Gold had some, like back in the day, they had some really nice accessories.
Yeah, but Phoenix Gold wasn't part of Stinger back then, so that was a California-based company. So
true.
The owner of AVE was like, Orion was it for a long time until the whole, they got bought out 6 different ways from Sunday. Rockford was always the guy down the street. And I think when they lost Rockford, we picked Rockford up. But like
that's like blasphemous back in the day.
Yeah, it was. It was really weird. And I always laughed at it because I was like, God, I remember like, and honestly, Rockford just never really. I don't think I've ever personally owned, like, spent my own money. Like, I own some Rockford stuff now just because they gave it to me, but I don't think I've ever spent any of my money on Rockford stuff. Not that I don't like it. I like I always tell people how much I love a P3 woofer, but I don't personally own one.
Right.
And and even when we sold a ton of it, I was like, yeah, I just
you coach your side. And it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna live like this.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know if I could ever like spend my money. Now, if they gave me a bunch of stuff, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say no because I do like a lot of their equipment. But it's just I can't. I just can't bring my wallet out and be like,
Right.
yeah, give me that M5 1001. No. No.
Yeah.
But I love the amplifier. I mean, we just got done doing the Durango that had that in there. We put, I sold them the 804 and the 1001, and it's just so much power, and it sounds so good, and it's just like, it's all Rockford, and it's got that Rockford luscious, just that Rockford sound. Rockford has unique sound, guys. I don't know what you ever say it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, I don't care. But I mean, it's just a Rockford sound, and just like a Focal, when we were talking about the Auditor, and it's like, dude, they managed to go, all right, listen.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you're like, if you like Focal tweets, this sounds like a Focal tweet.
Yeah, but see, that was always what pissed me off about the original Auditor. It didn't sound like a Focal. It's like, you're gonna put Focal in the box. That motherfucker better sound like Focal. You better be put blindfolds over me and play two different things and go, no, that's a Focal. Why? Because I can tell. Why? Because it sounds like a Focal. Why? Because it's this, and you're like,
it's very intense.
It's intense. The glass, you can hear it falling to the floor.
Mm-hmm. Crisp, a lot of people like some might say. Yeah.
Crisp.
Get that semblance.
Yeah, cymbals. And that's as soon as we played it, and I was like, okay, these are Focals. These are finally an affordable Focal. And I dare say, the problem that these companies run into is every time they come out with it's like, we're going to make this. And you go, okay, cool. Do we really need it? I don't know. I mean, because it's cheaper and it's really good. And you're like, so why do I want to sell access?
Yeah.
I mean, because like, this is really, really good. And it's
you're like 90% of the way there.
Yeah.
That's the same way with like when Rockford come out with the second revision of Prime. Like, who's buying Punch after those Prime come out? Nobody. You're either buying Power or you're buying Prime.
Dude, we did a car the other day, and the girl's like, I want to go crazy. I want to spend all this money. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, cool. So I put her together a dream system, basically the same system I just put in this Durango. Put her together the same system. I was like, do this, because she's like, I like my Rockford. I want to hear it from. I want to put my windows down. I want people to hear me. And I'm like, dude, your Rockford system. That's like, dude, it's so American. It's not even funny. This is like apple pie and Rockford Fosgate. It doesn't get any better. And so then she calls back. She's like, I want to dial it back a little bit.
Once she heard the price.
Well, no, I don't know. People are weird. Yeah. People. Sometimes it's like, all right, it's going to be $7,500. And you're like, okay. And then they call back, say, I want it to be $5,500. And you're like, so you want me to pull $2,000 out of the stereo? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, okay, where? Like,
by DSP.
Well, no, but yeah. Well, she was getting a radio. She was getting a new radio in the canal. But it's like $2,000 is really easy to do in car audio. Like, it's like that, because whatever your base price is, like $35,000 to $5,000 is like your base price. Okay, with installation. You guys, I know a lot of you guys do this stuff on your own, so it's okay. But after that, it's just upgrading little things here and there. So it's like when you look at a set of speakers that's $300, and the better set of speakers is $350 more. All right. When you go, so for $350, I get a speaker that's twice as good, if not more. Yeah. All right. Well, that makes sense. I'm going to buy that. All right. Well, now we got to look at these two amplifiers because you need more power. Well, how much is that? Well, like $200 more an amplifier. So $400. Yeah. So for $400, I get more power. You get a lot more power. All right, cool. So there's $750. And you're like, okay, well, now we got to install two amplifiers instead of one amplifier. All right. So, you got power, labor, and all that. So let's just say $500. All right. And you're like, oh, $500. And it's like, all right, yeah, but it's a whole nother amplifier. It's a whole nother install. It's another 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Right. You're like, oh, okay. So, and it's like, it just keeps, and it's like, we're going to need more. We won't need more RCAs. We're going to do 5 channels. Okay. So we won't need that, but we'll probably do separate RCAs now. So let's, yeah. Anyways, and then of course now we're going better speakers, so many fast rings, many roadkill, and it's like next thing you know, it's like $2,000, and you're like, oh shit. But it's death by 1,000 cuts, as I always call it, it's buying popcorn at the movie theater.
Yeah.
You know, once you've gotten over the original $5 of buying a small popcorn at the movie theater, they're gonna hit you up right away. Hey, $2 more, you can get a large. You know, $5 more, you can get a drink and a large. $10 more, you can get 2 larges and a big jumbo with refillable. $20 more, or you know, it's $5 more. Hey, $5 more than that, you can get one that's refillable. $5 more than that, you get one of these cool collector's tins. If you want to add $3, we can get you some chocolate. Next thing you know, you spent $75 at the goddamn snack display, and you're walking away with all this food, going, "What happened? Why do I have it?" Or as I like to say, you got a backpack full of cola and a trash can full of popcorn, and you got jujubes sticking out of places you're trying to figure out where the hell it came from. You know,
and they get offended, like, because we go in there, and I know Cassie is not going to eat the big thing of popcorn. I only want a little bit of popcorn.
No,
I'm like, no, the small bag's fine. Are you sure? Like, yeah, just give us a small bag. Like, we're not even going to finish this whole small bag.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'll walk up to the counter, can I get a small bag of popcorn with butter? And they'll be like, you know, for $1 more, you can get a large. And I'll go like this. Who's gonna eat it with me? I'm flying solo here, bro.
Your lips will be burning from all that salt.
That small popcorn is gonna, you know, that's gonna be enough. That'll bind me up. I'm good.
Right.
You know, that's that useless corn crap.
I think they get a bonus. I think they do
too. I think there's a star chart in the back.
Right.
Jimmy got another star. Woo!
You got Dean to buy 5 gallons of popcorn, and he didn't eat 3 bites of it.
Yeah.
Then we recycled it.
I will eat the shit out of a small popcorn. That is for sure. I will walk over and get extra butter on it too.
Yeah. Dude.
Share a large cherry Coke and a small popcorn with my wife. There you go.
That's what I do. But we go Coke Zero. Like if they had cherry Coke Zero, oh man. Couldn't stop me.
Yeah. But so anyways, back to her and what we were talking about when we were talking about punch. You know, because it's for those of you that aren't Rockford Fosgate people, it goes prime, punch, power. Power, of course, is a conglomerate now, because now you have Power Sports, and they're trying to break that apart. So now they have the M line, which is Marine. And then you still have the mini T series amplifiers, but they're still T's, so they're in the power lineup. So you know, when you look at power, you have all the vintage power amplifiers that they've been making for the last 15 to 20 years, like the 2500.1 and all that fun stuff. And then they have the new stuff, which is the thinner, smaller stuff, which is what we use.
Right.
And then Punch has its whole line, and Punch is the one that gets the most attention because they put a lot of effort into constantly updating Punch. So Punch, I think gets a rev like every 3 to 4 years, it seems like. And then Prime, I think, is on their 4th or 5th rev, even though they're calling it R2.
Right.
It's not really R2. I think it's like R3 or R4.
Yeah.
Who knows? I know it's not, because, you know, I've been selling that shit for a long time. But in this case, I like the Prime stuff. Like, I like the R2s. And I honestly like the Prime speakers better than I like the Punch speakers. I think they sound better. And when you pair them up with the R amplifiers, the efficiency matches up great, and they sound wonderful. They're loud, and they're all, you know, they sound good. So we went for, Paul comes over and he asked me, should I go down to Punch? And I said, no, take her down to power. I'm sorry, take her down to Prime. Take everything down to Prime. Just shift all the way down to Prime.
And I think that, like, that this current revision of Prime, they're like really good looking compared to what they've been.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same as the last one, but I think it looks better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid amp. It's got distortion in, distortion out detection. It's a solid piece.
Right.
So definitely feel like the point of diminishing returns doesn't hit until pretty darn late in the car audio stuff. Like, you get pretty linear advancements until you go really nuts. And you wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong. You know, if you're looking at a system that's under, let's say, 85 to 10 grand,
right?
You've made progress every step along the way. Like, you've you've made substantial improvements from step to step to step up to that point. Past that point is you're getting into some really
esoteric,
foo-fooey. I don't want to use that word. You're getting into you're getting into like your return on investment is getting definitely a thinner and thinner as you go up. But I mean,
and
but
you're
then
starting to smell your own farts just a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so one of the nice things about so changing topics just slightly, segueing into a different take on this. When we were at Go Fast for our 24-hour extravaganza, having a blast, and freezing our asses off in the middle of what month is this? May?
April.
Is it April?
It's
okay,
April.
guys, listen. Anyone that lives up north, which is basically everyone, because I live in Florida.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you. It really does, because the fact that you guys are still having to wear jackets, even though I know you're not going to really, because dude, it's so warm. It's 60 degrees. It was 50 today. We had a heat wave, eh? Okay. No, it's 80 in Florida. Okay.
Did you pack pants?
I don't, dude, pack. What do you mean pack clothes? I literally took a pair of underwear, a t-shirt, and a toothbrush. That was it. And deodorant.
Yeah.
Dude, we literally just said, all right, well, what camera equipment do we not need? And we put our clothes in our camera bags. That was, and I'm not kidding. It was a toothbrush, deodorant, the little Target deodorant for traveling.
Dude, I always take a hoodie. Like, it doesn't even matter. You had a hoodie. Okay.
I wore it. I wore it like a scarf, man. You kidding me?
Right.
No, the hoodie. Oh, yes. Dude.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's summer, dude. I'm taking a hoodie just in case.
Fernando took a jacket that reminded me of a stuffed animal, but yeah, I was in Florida last week. It's damn hot for me. I feel sorry for you guys. Don't feel sorry for us. Please don't feel sorry for us. I will take this weather every day of the week, because I can walk inside of my house and be ready to go. It's nice and cool here, but I walk outside. It's snowing here in Minnesota.
Dude, it's cold. It's cold here today.
I have pain. I have pain for you all, because when we got off that plane and that brisk 58, or I think it was 52, hit me in the face, and I go, damn, we're back at this again. Come on, guys. We haven't had a cold day in Florida in a month. Oh God. So yeah, it sucked. And then it started to rain, and we're like, oh wow, cold and raining.
Yeah.
Double threat.
The combo.
It was so hot in Florida. Now I'm freezing in Missouri.
It's cold. It was cold today. Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like
cold
it
here.
I've had enough of it.
Yeah, it's but anyways, one of the nice things that we get to do at these is, catch up with old friends and make new ones.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity. So most of the stuff we do is, it's been Arizona, it's been Vegas, it's been middle of the country kind of stuff, and we don't always get to see our regional representatives.
Yeah.
I mean, East Coast versus West Coast, because if it's in Vegas and Arizona, West Coast guys are coming over, not East Coast guys. And the only East Coast show is Orlando, for us, as far as Knowledge Fest goes. Now, I'm not talking like SPL shows and stuff like that. It's totally different.
Right.
I'm, where I'm going to meet someone from a corporation. And this trip was really nice, because our West Coast Alpine representative here, West Coast regional sales manager, and I've very little interaction with him at all. And, he came over and introduced himself, and we started talking, and it was great because, we talked way too late, but just talking about products and stuff like that. And the humor in all of it was, they kept saying, oh yeah, we got this now, and we're going to show you this. And I'm like, we've seen it. And they're like, no, seriously, dude. And they're like, no, you haven't. I'm like, yeah, no, literally, we've seen it. It was in Vegas. No, they didn't have it in Vegas. Yeah. And I was like, yeah.
Were you in Vegas? They had it in Vegas.
I was like, yeah, you guys did. You had it in Vegas. Well, I'm like, everything was there, guys. Everything was there. And then they're like, well, we got the Jeep radio in. And I'm like, yeah, we saw it. Like, we didn't have that in Vegas. I said, no, dude, listen, slow it down. We went over to the show floor when we got here, and we saw your Jeep parked there. I went and looked. So yes, I saw it. And they're like, oh, I was like, slow it down, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Like I'm Dean. I'm behind the scenes making moves and seeing shit.
Yes. Dude, let me tell you what, and you're not wrong, because it's like when we got there, we literally got there, threw our shit in the hotel rooms, went downstairs, called Matthew from audio control and said, "Hey man, where are you at?" He said, "I'm at the show floor." I go, "Where's the show floor?" He goes, "Go here, make a left. It's right there." I said, "Okay." He goes, "But it's going to close in like 15 minutes. I said, "Don't care. I'm 1 minute away. I'm already looking at it," because we were already walking. And one of the guys was coming out, and they're like, "Hey man," I was like, "Hey," and they're like, "Getting ready to close." I said, "Don't care." Snuck in the door, went, did a whole tour, like 2 laps around the place, said hi to everybody, looked in everybody's window, saw it was going to be there, and they're like, "All right, everyone out, we're closing." And I was like, "You guys suck." And then we left and went out to dinner with all the Kenwood guys and another company, which Trent Partners.
Sounds official.
They're just a rep firm up there. Really cool dudes. And a side jag. We met them in Orlando when they were here, because they're, again, West Coast, and Orlando being the West Coast. And I sat across from the primary, which is the big dog, and he's very New York accent, and we were talking, and he's going, those cocksuckers. And I go, "What?" "The cocksuckers." And I said, "Did you say cocksuckers?" He goes, "Yeah, the cocksuckers." And I go, "Oh, so it's the cocksuckers, huh? They pockets the cars all over." We go there, and he's like, "Dang, where are you from?" So for like a half hour, all we did was say cocksuckers in this restaurant that was way too expensive to say cocksuckers in. And we had a blast. So I'm looking at him going, "Why do I know this guy? Why do I know?" And Fernando just goes, "Cocksuckers." And I go, "Oh, yes,
it's the cocksucker guy."
It's the cocksucker guy. Dude, it was great. Oh, it was hilarious. Anyways, so we ended up talking with Alpine, and we had a great time. And one of the things we were talking about was the F1 and the Tesla that was in Vegas. And they're like, "Did you guys get to see it?" And I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "What did you think?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was great." And they're like, "Yeah, I go, no, slow it down, guy." And I said, "No, you don't have to tell me anything." I said, "Dude, we sat in the car with Steve Brown for an hour." And I said, "They gave us a guided tour like nobody else of this car." And he's like, they're just looking at me like, "What?" And I'm like, "Dude, they put the cover back on it. They pulled the cover off. They treated us like royalty." I said, "It was wonderful." And they only did that because of you guys, by the way, because they knew you guys would eventually get to see it. And they're like, "You guys sit in the car with Steve Brown?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was great. He's a great guy and a super nice dude. Like, it was awesome sitting next to him, because it's like, he's a legend,
Yeah.
Like, this is like one of those moments in life where it's like, I got sit next to Steve Brown, and he told me shit."
And, he let me see things.
Yeah, he let me see it. And so we were talking about the F1, and I go, the big takeaway that I got from the F1, which this is rolling back into what we were talking about, was everyone was coming up to me after the F1, because most people knew we got the opportunity to do this. So they're all coming to me, "What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? How'd it sound? What do you think?" "Well, it sounded great. What do I think? I think it's awesome." And they're like, "Dude, I could do that for a quarter of the price. I could do that for half the price. It sounds just as good." And I go, "No, it wouldn't." And they were like, "Yeah, I could." I was like, "No, you can't. No, you can't. Physically can't. Physically can't." And they're like, "Yeah, I can." I said, "No, you can't." "You know why?" And they're like, "Why?" I said, "Because there is not another processor to decode digital music in the world for a car audio that exists other than that." And they just looked at me like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah. What did you think? They just took some off the shelf DSP shit and it decodes 192, bro." No, man. No. Dude, that chip doesn't even exist in home audio. I mean, in the realm of affordability. They were telling me how they have guys calling them and wanting to know how they could power that for their home audio system to make
what files are they playing on that?
Dude, I have
like no DSV idea. Files.
Oh, dude, so when we recorded everything. So once I get the video edited and done, Chris Tagoo, who's the guy who does a lot of their trainings, What's New with Tagoo, I think was one of the shows he did on their YouTube channel. But he took and made a demo recording of his voice explaining everything. So as you're sitting in the car, which you kind of got to hear, you'll get to hear some of that tomorrow in our video, because tomorrow, for all you Alpine fans, we go with Eric Brooks and we go through the whole Las Vegas What's New thing. And in that, we go into their F-150, and there's a section in it where you hear Chris Tagoo telling you about what you're getting ready to hear. And then, of course, we cut away from it because it wasn't that important. But when we get around to editing the Tesla video with the F1, he did this awesome where he went into a freaking recording studio and recorded everything. And he tells you, this is what you're listening to. This is the bit rate. This is what you're listening to, the same song at this bit rate. So that you can literally hear the difference between these bit rates. And I was like, holy crap, and they're Japanese. They can get all the shit they want. They got money.
Yeah. They own all the technology.
They own all the technology too. We also found out that Alps and Alpine, Alps is the parent company of Alpine, has merged with Alpine. Meaning Alpine used to be a subsidiary of Alps Electronics, not anymore. They're now like this one company, which on the outside doesn't seem like much, but on the inside that means that everything that Alps is doing under Alps, as well as under Alpine and Alpine OE, meaning original manufacturing crap, is now all one company. So literally all the engineers get to talk to one another now. Whereas in the past, they couldn't. Yeah. So like if you were building something for Chrysler, you could never know it as the aftermarket guy. None of that shit exists anymore. I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. Which remind me to tell you Dr. Dre story. So anyways, like this chip that's inside of this F1 is in its own little oven. It's a thermal regulation chamber. Yeah. Because in order for the chip to work properly, it has to be kept at a specific temperature. So they bake this chip inside of the processor to make sure that, and it's a hot enough temperature. So even like someone here in the desert or Dubai or wherever it is, it's a hot enough temperature that the car would never actually see that temperature. So they have to heat it up to get it to that temperature.
Okay. And this is all in the main DSP unit or whatever?
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing too. It's not the main DSP unit. All of the shit only works with the shit. Meaning it looks like it's several pieces. It's not. It's all one piece.
It's all one system, right?
It's all one system, meaning.
But there's like a controller.
There's the controller and all that stuff. It all goes. It all plays together. So it's, and even the output, the XLRs out of the amplifiers into the amplifiers. There's not one piece that's interchangeable with anything else. So you can't just go and then of course they fly the tuner guys out to tune the system for you. So there's an East Coast tuner and a West Coast tuner. So when the car is done, the last car they were telling me about that they just finished up, the guys were out there for 3 days tuning it with the customer. So it's like you can't build that.
How many of them is there, like in the wild?
Oh, not many. It just started shipping, so
that's
in the US. Overseas,
have you ever thought about when you got the demo? Have you ever just considered? I do this sometimes, just mess with people like, when I, and then they're just like, what? Did you not like?
Oh no, I do that all the time. Yeah. Are you kidding me? The first time I met Brian Mitchell, I sat in his car and I go, it's not bad. Yeah. He just looked at me like, I'm joking. That's how our friendship is going to start. I'm going to pick at you and you're going to be like, what? And then you're going to be, oh, that guy's a dick. I like him.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I'll have Nick Wingate in the car and I'll be like, gotta be honest with you, Nick. I don't know what we're listening to, but it sounds terrible. He'll be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm fucking with you, man. He'd be like, you're such an asshole. Oh yeah. No, I mean, you gotta have fun. I mean, It's car audio. It can't be too serious. So the Dre story real quick. So they have the Beats by Dre system that you can buy and the Chrysler stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, the Durango, we just took out the Dre system that was in it. You can get it in the Challenger and the Charger, I think. I've replaced a couple of them. They sound like shit. But that system is built by Alpine.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Helps. So when they were making that system, Chrysler paid Dre to tune that car. So how that went down is he literally sat in the front seat of the car. The Alpine engineer was sitting in the back seat of the car with his laptop, and he was just telling Dre Dre was telling him what to do. So he sounded the car, and they just better or worse. Eye doctored, as I call it, from the back seat. If anyone's been to the eye doctor, that's what you ask people: better or worse, better or worse, better or worse, better or worse, more or less, better or worse. It's fucking annoying. But yeah, he sat in those cars for like 3 or 4 days. They said. Just going at it at different times throughout the day. And the car, when you hear a Dre system, that's how he wanted it to sound, which leads me to believe that he doesn't know good sound.
Yeah.
Not
the way we understand it.
Dre beat system. Yeah, and it's not good gravy.
What you know what? I have the so I got the Beats Studio Buds.
Oh, nice.
So they have the M1 chip like the AirPods and everything, but they stick in my ears better, like when I'm moving. And actually didn't sound bad. I have the Beats Flex, they don't sound good.
Funny you should mention you should mention headphones, because if you're friends with Brian Mitchell on Facebook, you saw that this extremely scary picture of him with a tube top for a mask on an airplane, where he said, these Sony things don't sound so bad.
Oh, I did see him. I did see that. Yes.
Okay. So my dumbass went to Best Buy on Sunday after fixing the toilet and bought a set of those. So I bought a set of the Sony headphones because when I go to Austria, it's like long flight, and these have like 30 hours of battery life. So that'll get me there at least.
And the noise canceling.
The thing is like it says I heard Beats products sound bad. Listen, man, they
depends.
It just depends who's listening to them. I mean, I always refer to the Eddie Murphy saltine cracker, and if you haven't done that, just Google Eddie Murphy saltine cracker, because that's really what it comes down to. But no, so I bought a set of Sony headphones and took them on this trip just to see, how.
What you think?
The resolution is really good. But it kind of gets lost once the plane takes off. But a lot of nuances. Which
did you do the active noise canceling on them?
Oh yeah, it's totally active noise canceling.
Yeah. Oh, because you have to turn it on and off still, right?
Well, you can probably through the app, but if you do this, it shuts it off, and then you do this, turns it back on. But the thing that irritated the shit out of me that I have to wear them is that there's no buttons. There's 2 hard buttons. One says custom, and the other one is like on and off. But everything else is just touch sensitive on the side, and it's like you're supposed to touch to turn it up, touch, and it's not like there's got to be. It wasn't. It was driving me up the fucking wall. So I was like, that was driving me crazy. When you do this, it pauses because there's a light sensor inside of your left ear. So when it sees light, it automatically pauses. So if you do this, it'll pause because the light will come in. If you do this, it won't pause.
It's just on one side.
Yeah, because it's just the light sensor on. So, but if it'll shut off and pause, which is cool. Right. So I figured that out on accident.
Like AirPods.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if I would have read the instructions, I'm sure it would have been great, but I didn't have time.
Those get super high marks, even compared to like Apple's Studio headphones that are double the price. People,
I mean, they were comfortable.
Right.
They sounded great. The noise canceling was fabulous. I could wear them. They didn't bother me. Imagine being a DJ.
For real. Shut the whole thing down.
Oh shit! My bad.
All good. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Oh, and then another thing that was my saddest moment this week also was my Monolith 560s or 580s that I edit with every night, that I love dearly, died. One of the speakers died. It was so messed up too, because I'm like, I have it and I go and I'm hearing it and I put it on and the side cuts off. I'm like, the hell?
What's going on?
Click, click, click. Nothing. I pull it off. I, do this, and I hear it playing. So I go put it on. It stops.
And they don't have replaceable cables?
No, it's not the cable. What it is it's the diaphragm. Because what happens is the diaphragm, as soon as it gets pressure, it shorts out.
Nice.
So if you're holding it like this,
it'll play.
It would never shut off because it can breathe and freely move. But as soon as you put it on your ear and it suction cups to your head,
done.
And of course, they don't make them anymore. So I'm so pissed. I mean, you're almost there with the letters. You need an L though. Yeah. So I was like, crap. So now I got to find a new set of speakers to edit or new. I mean, I have plenty of headphones. It's not like I don't. I mean, I grabbed my Mazes that I have, or however you pronounce that stupid name.
Right.
But yeah. So
yeah. I always use these to edit, but I also listen to it with just my phone speaker, and then I listen to it with crappy AirPods, and
I got that kind of time. I just have really good headphones, and I just and everyone goes, you either like it or you don't. I don't really care. I mean, my biggest thing is I always just pay attention to how loud the soundtrack is, because we're not watching it to get, we're not watching music video. We're there to be entertained. And so the music track, most people, I don't even realize there's a music track back there. Like if you're listening to your speaker, you're probably not hearing the music track, but if you put headphones on, you'll hear it.
That's exactly how I do mine. I just need the music track to hit the spots where I'm not saying words and I'm just showing you something. Yeah. Like for that short time. Yeah.
I'm always saying words, man. I jump cut the shit out of it. I had some guy complain the other day about that, and I was like, have you not watched any of our videos? Okay, listen. Okay.
First time here, huh?
First time, yeah. It's like it was just getting hard to watch him because I'm like, not everyone can talk to a camera.
Yeah.
They go, okay, okay, yeah, and I'm like, all right, we need to get this over with.
Right.
At some point, we need to get on to the actual video.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta cut it up, make it flow.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Totally. So what do you got going on? What's coming out from the Hi-Fi Vega camp?
Let's see. This was supposed to come out last week, but I ended up having to work.
Oh, that shitbox little CarPlay radio.
Yeah, I played it and tested it and seen how many volts it put out.
Are you sending it back now?
They gave this to me.
Oh, that was the one they gave you.
Right.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to call it a shitbox then.
No, well, I mean, hey, it is what it is. It has some high notes and it has some low notes. So you will see Sunday. Like there's actually some good to be found here. There's also some bad. So of course, it's got Apple Wireless CarPlay, and it's like $339, I think. So
wow,
and the screen's not bad.
So it's $339 with wireless CarPlay. So for $100 more, maybe $150 more, you can get an actually branded radio with wireless CarPlay.
Well, but it's Boss brand because I've looked them up.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the same thing, to be honest with you, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind,
to get Pioneer or something, you need to be like 650-ish.
Yeah, but keep in mind, you can add wireless CarPlay to anything with a ZZ2.
Yeah, but that's like $150, isn't it? Or $200.
So you could buy an inexpensive Pioneer or Kenwood, for under $299.
Right. If you could find one. Oh, they got the crap ones now. I was looking because I was thinking about getting a new single den for the Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing out there.
Single den?
Yeah.
Like you mean like a CD player?
Like what do you want? It could just be a media player. No, just the crap ones. I want like a good one. Like a 7, like an Excelon 700 series.
How many do you want? We got them all, man. One. I got tons. See. I got cases of those.
See,
send me the model. Send me the model number. I'll find out, and I'll have Paul send it to you.
There we go. That's what I'll do.
I know we got tons of that shit. Hell, we probably still have the 9 series or the 8, whatever that was from 2 or 3 years ago.
I'd love to put a floating screen in there. I just have to do some serious measuring because things are going to be in the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a 2001 Japanese truck, so like things aren't where they're supposed to be.
So it doesn't have a doubled in hole. It's just got that single din thing.
It's
right?
got a single din with a lip above it that sticks out maybe like 2.5 inches, and then below it's the gear shift.
I was gonna say, is it manual or automatic?
It's automatic.
So is it? Man, I haven't done one of those.
It comes up like it would come up, and if it had a floating screen, I could clear it, but depending on how big the screen is, it might be like the gear shift in park. It doesn't matter, when drive, I should be able to still touch it, but.
Yeah, because it's got to go low because the air conditioner is right above the radio.
Yeah, and it would have to stick out this far from the radio to go up because
can't move the air conditioner down to where the radio is.
No,
no, it's all cables. Yeah, it's cables.
And it's not like it's very analog. Like it's making some cuts and yeah.
Oh yeah, just make a custom console under the dash for double din. There is no room to do that, guys. This isn't a 76 Nova. Yeah. Japanese cars did not leave that kind of room to do stuff like that.
It does have a pocket under it. Like I could probably do something. It has a holder, like a pocket, but
it's because it's those 3 individual chambers.
Right.
So it's not like it's a radio with a pocket double din style. It's that like whole other.
Yep.
Yeah, with a divider in the middle and.
Mm-hmm.
Got to break out the sawzall or the chainsaw, whichever you prefer.
It'd be a situation.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, I just grab a single din.
It's not worth it. Yeah, single din is the way to go.
Yeah,
Bluetooth, call it a day. Yeah,
right. Do they have single dins with wireless Apple CarPlay?
No, they just have Siri Eyes free. So she'll just talk to you.
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, so most of the wireless stuff is all Siri Eyes free, which was the precursor to CarPlay. So you can just say, you could say, "Hey Siri," or you can just press the button, say, "Read me back my last text message," or call this person, and she'll do all that shit.
Nice.
And I think she'll give you the turn by turn, like she'll talk to you and tell you turn by turn type shit. I'll see you on the next one next week. Yeah, you too, Andy.
I lined him up for next weekend.
Oh,
next week. He couldn't do this week because he had.
That's understandable. It's okay, man. It's all good.
It's a very serious part of the show. I mean,
this is a very serious show. It's very serious. So serious. So serious. The show is over. You guys have a great week.
It's done. Bye.
It's done.